The United States has announced it is declaring 4 groups based in Europe as foreign terrorist organisations. They include one group from Germany called Antifa Ost. The other groups are from Italy and Greece. In a statement on X, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio said, today, building on POTUS's historic commitment to uproot Antifa's campaign of political violence, the Department of State is designating 4 Antifa groups as foreign terrorist organisations and specially designated global terrorists. The United States will continue using all available tools to protect our nation from these anti-American, anti-capitalist and anti-Christian terrorist groups. And we can get more from our political correspondent Matthew Moore here in Berlin. Matthew, first of all, how's the German government responding to this?
Anya, there's been a press conference today with all the various government ministers, the government spokespeople gathered around, and they've been taking some questions. I have to say they've not had much to say about this decision, apart from one spokesman said that it raised lots of questions. And of course it raises questions because what exactly will this designation mean for the people, not just the people involved, but also it said that other people who are linked to these groups could also face secondary sanctions. So lots of questions there, but no comment, just apart from saying that they noted the decision. And they were also asked about whether it was proportional, and they said that, look, they're not going to be drawn into whether the German government thinks it's proportional or whether the German government is going to follow suit. What they did say, though, is the security services here in this country are already monitoring Antifa Ost, that's Antifa East. And they said, though, that the threat potential from this group had reduced considerably recently, pointing to ongoing and settled criminal cases against the group's leading figures.
So tell us a bit more about Antifa Ost. Who are they?
They're one of the groups that make up the Antifa network here in Germany. Basically, they belong to the violent left-wing extremist scene, Anya. They're also known as the Hammer Gang because of their preferred method of attack. In recent years, several suspected members have been arrested here in Germany and in Hungary, Budapest, and I'll tell you about that in a second. Basically, they've been accused of attacking fascists with hammers. Specifically, one event in Budapest, Hungary, the so-called Day of Honour, a neo-Nazi gathering where several members of Antifa Ost are accused of attacking this parade, and one particular member has already been sentenced to 9 years in a court here in Germany earlier this year for attempted murder. There are several other cases ongoing, high-profile cases that have generated a lot of attention here in Germany, with lawmakers here in Germany travelling to Hungary to show support for one of the suspects who's facing trial in Hungary. And also in Hungary, they've been generating a lot of attention with people looking for, and the government there already having designated Antifa Ost, Antifa East, a designated terrorist group.
So, Matthew, why did the US government then decide to designate Antifa Ost as a foreign terrorist organisation? Was there any sort of one particular thing that they pinpointed?
I mean, they mentioned these attacks in Budapest specifically. I think that you've got to look at the context. We've seen with Donald Trump the US President Donald Trump in recent months has really taken a much tougher tone when it comes to Antifa. The other aspect of this, the other context which I think is important, is that here in Germany, the far-right Alternative for Germany party has also been vocal about its opposition to Antifa and calling for much tougher handling of Antifa. As I say, they would like to see Antifa banned, and this group, Antifa Ost, banned and designated a terror group. And the AfD has, over the last few months, a number of AfD lawmakers have been in Washington, D.C., meeting senior figures in the Trump administration, including figures from the State Department who issued this designation. And in these meetings, they've been saying, look, the AfD is politically persecuted back home in Germany. We're seeing attacks on us from groups like Antifa that just go unpunished. And so for me, it's not a surprise to see that the US State Department, after these meetings, take a step like this to ban a group, an Antifa network group here in Germany.
DW political correspondent Matthew Moore, thank you.